Not attempt to adjust your computer, there is nothing wrong. We have taken control as to bring you this special show. My name is Dobie Maxwell, also known as the King of Uranus, and the Mothership flies through cyberspace one more time. Our distinguished crew of regulars right over here is Greg DeGuire. It is his compound in a place so secret, if we told you where it was, we'd have to kill you in a friendly, in a customer service kind of way. Our Millennial Falcon, Carrie Turner, is over here officially 21 years old. She's on the tax lines. The government conspiracy, they know she's been fingerprinted, so she's now in the master computer in Washington, D.C. We have a special guest with us today, a lovely and talented author. Greg, I will have you introduce her. Hello, there's one take here. This is live entertainment. The Mothership flies. We don't start over again.
Author and conspiracy buff Tammy Teigland is with us.
Hi, Tammy.
She's also manager of rock band mixed company.
We have to get them in.
You get them in here too.
Local rock band, yes.
Yes. We are honored to have her with us. She was in helping with our two previous episodes with author Anita Meyer.
Who was fantastic.
Fantastic.
We still have her books here. Using like beverage coasters. Very good books. We read every one of them, cover to cover. Sorry. We read your books.
Off air, we were kind of playing around with conspiracy theories.
Really.
Bantering. It was good banter. So we're going to continue the banter with the cameras rolling. And Tammy is keen on conspiracy theories. She's even been questioned by the Secret Service.
I have.
Tammy, please elaborate.
Take it away.
Yes.
Okay.
Was the guy trying to hit on you, or was it just a government business?
It was government business.
Okay, all right.
Well, you know, you have to really watch your settings on Facebook. Let's just put that out there. Right
Change
now.
the language to pirate. They'll never figure it out.
So you don't want anything to be public, because people might turn you in for something because they don't agree with you, they don't like your language.
Language meaning like
Hell damn ass.
Just okay, when Obama was president, you couldn't say anything without offending somebody. Okay. Okay. Well, I had a very good friend who made a comment to another friend on Facebook about how it was time that we got a new president, because he wasn't happy with the things that Obama was doing. Okay? There were certain things that, I won't get into the details, but needless to say, he's like, we can't have this guy run again, we need to get somebody else, he just can't be president for 8 years. But he didn't exactly say it that way, so he got reported. And they report you to the Secret Service.
they don't joke about stuff.
They don't joke about that.
And everyone that commented too?
No, just him. So the Secret Service, actually, men in black, show up at his door. Hello. We need to come in and talk to you. So coming in and having a conversation with my friend, they then needed 3 names of people that would vouch for him, that he's not a nut job, that he's not going to fly to D.C. and shoot the president or whatever. So I think after they met this man, they realized that this man really doesn't leave his house much to begin with. And he makes 2 stops, the gas station and possibly Subway, occasionally to the grocery store.
I mean, that's all you really need to
go
on.
Yeah, really. And other than me picking him up for the VA and taking him to his appointments, the guy didn't leave.
You know, $5 footlong, the president did that?
It just wasn't going to happen unless he showed up at his door. I mean, the president really at the time had nothing to worry about.
Yeah.
So I was one of the names that I needed to be interviewed.
Wow.
Yes. So obviously they check into each person that they need to follow up with. Well, me being an author, and I have been working on this conspiracy thriller that I'm soon to publish.
What's the title of it?
The Sect.
Okay.
Truth in Latin.
All right.
So, and it's actually about the Gemstone Files, which we'll get into in a little bit. One of the gentleman that needed to interview me called me, and out of the blue, I see this number come across my screen because I have AT&T, and they show you who's calling while you're watching TV. And I'm going, who the hell in the government's calling me? Well, I do have a couple of friends. And I'm like, they wouldn't be calling me, but you never know.
The number 666
No. So I
Call and
literally,
collect.
Oh, you're
so
I know where you
yeah,
are.
well, it's the 202 area code.
They're looking
you know.
for Sarah Connor as well.
Yes, exactly, exactly. So anyway, I get this phone call, and at first I'm thinking this is a joke. Okay, somebody's really messing with me, and I'm laughing. Didn't realize the person on the other end of the phone really had no sense of humor whatsoever. Introduced himself, and I said, really? Okay. And he says, you know a so-and-so. And I'm going, okay, wait a minute. Now my mind is going, crap, what happened?
yeah.
So I said, yes. How well do you know him? So then I go through how long I've known this man, how I met him, what I know about his family, the relationships, what my relationship to this man is, what his relationship is to my family. Yeah, the whole thing. So this process took maybe 10 minutes. It was a long conversation just on this because they had to make sure that he wasn't dangerous to himself or
They were checking on YouTube.
well, that's where the whole thing got weird because then the conversation turned and it was, well, we'd like to know about you. What were you we noticed that you were in DC in 2010, and I'm going, okay, that was a couple of years ago. Seriously?
Yeah.
You want to know what I was doing in Washington, D.C.? Okay, so I told them what I was doing in D.C. Obviously, I was doing research for my book. Then they asked me a few more questions. And then I started to think, they actually know what I'm Googling on my laptop because some of these questions...
You don't think they don't?
Oh, of course they do. Of course they do.
They're helping me with Scrabble games. Yeah, they know exactly what
That
all
makes
of
them
them.
Right.
That makes them Googlers.
Right,
Yeah.
right. So 30 minutes later, I get off the phone. Now, my youngest daughter, who at the time was 16, she's looking at me going, what did you do now, Mom? I'm like, you heard that conversation, right? They just wanted to follow up. But the thing of it is, I know they Googled me. I know they knew I was an author. They knew what I was investigating.
They needed you to
They
confirm
needed
it
me
then.
to confirm it. Yes, yes, absolutely. And then, ironically, and I know, and this sounds a little crazy, but after that phone call, I had some weird things happening with my cell phone. Oh yeah. Well, I know that they were listening in because I can handle that.
That's what I do.
It was
yeah.
When I listen, that's what I do.
But I had left the office and my father calls me, so I put him on speaker and I pull out and he's like, where are you? I said, I'm in the car. He says, aren't you still at work? I said, no. He says, well, I hear people talking in the background and pages being turned. Yeah. Yeah. Not once, twice. And that happened within 2 weeks of each other. And it was, yeah. So every morning I go, good morning, NSA. Today I will be.
Today on January 9th.
Don't make fun. Don't give me the big green finger. You don't want that.
Yeah. Well, and then just for fun, I actually would Google things that normal people wouldn't be Googling.
Maybe I'll get
I wanted another phone call, yes! I wanted to talk
The
to
mating
somebody.
habits of rhinoceroses?
No.
No, people don't Google
No. Like more like stuff that makes you disappear kind of stuff. But yes, I was having a lot of fun.
And they're watching this now like, oh, we can see what she looks like.
Hey, we're going to up
We
your
can look a
rating.
face to the
There
voice.
you go. You need to like and follow.
So conspiracies is your thing.
It's starting to be. I have 5 published books.
Okay.
The series that I have written is called A Stranger in the Night, all based in Burlington, Wisconsin. And I guess it does have a little conspiracy there because there are tunnels under Burlington and they deny that they're there. I heard about these tunnels back in the 80s when I worked there.
What are they for?
Well, that's just it.
Oh,
I haven't been able to actually get into the tunnels that are under Burlington. There are tunnels all over small towns and cities all over
Are
the
they called
country.
the sewer system?
No, a sewer system's a sewer system.
Yeah,
So
smart.
no. These are tunnels. I have read a letter that was given to a friend of ours who owns the Sci-Fi Cafe in Burlington.
You know that person.
We know that person.
You do, yes, you do. Mary Sutherland.
Mary Sutherland, yeah.
Yes,
I know
and
she's mad at us. We're not mad at her. She can come on anytime she wants. We love you, Mary.
so Mary Sutherland had gotten a letter from a woman whose grandfather owned the plush horse, which is inside the building that Sci-Fi was in. It sadly is no longer around, but the building is still there. It was built in the 1900s. It was originally the Burlington Hotel. When it was the plush horse, that was a speakeasy. So this woman recalls playing in the tunnels that the building had access to. So the basement of the building had access to the tunnels, and inside these tunnels, she described what they looked like. So some of them are brick, some of them have arched ceilings. There's windows with bars in them, like a jail cell would be.
Yeah.
There's rooms down there. So it was a fascinating letter. I had talked to an elderly gentleman who used to play in the tunnels, and he lived off of King Street, where the Lincoln statue is, where down King Street. I'm trying to what the other street is. Anyway, there's a Lincoln statue that's saying there, and he's looking down, and under there's tunnels. Well, behind Lincoln is a White House on the corner, and that was the doctor's house, one of the not founding fathers, but like from the 1800s.
Yeah.
And that house has tunnel access. There's other homes, the really old homes have tunnel access. So if they have a sub-basement, more than likely the sub-basements are the ones that have access to these tunnels. Now, were they to get around because of the snow and, you move around without having to be out in the elements? Who knows? It could be bullshit. You never know. There's lots of things. There's lots of things I've heard. I've also heard that even though Burlington claims to want to help the slavery, the slaves, they were free here. They actually would have people that would round them up and hold them in the sub-basements because there's rods and pins where you could see where somebody could actually be chained up. And they would move the slaves through the tunnels and come up and sell them back to the drivers, and they load them up on wagons, and they go work out in the lead mines, like out in Galena or wherever, take them over to the
Wow.
I've heard all kinds of crazy stories. What's true? I don't know. But these are all things. Lots of speculation, lots of conspiracy. But you have to check in each one. Right. Sometimes.
You have a gut feeling
about the tunnels in Burlington?
Yeah.
I think they've been used for human trafficking through the years.
Oh.
In the 80s, there was rumored that there was a huge satanic cult following in the area. It was huge in the McHenry area.
I've heard about this.
And also up in the Kenosha County
I know
area.
if I was in Dark Lord, I'd set up shop at the let's go to McHenry. Good place.
Yeah.
It's pretty quiet.
Yeah, it's pretty quiet.
It's not very
well,
warm.
okay, but we're also talking the 1980s. Totally different than what it is right now. I mean, is there stuff going on right now? Who knows?
Nobody can tape what's going on.
My clothes were in style then.
But there were rumors that there were kids that disappeared in Burlington, and nobody said anything. It was also rumored that one of these kids found themselves in Iowa, somehow ended up in Iowa, not knowing how the hell he got there. So obviously drugs were
Was his name
involved.
Morty and had a grandpa named Rick?
No, probably not.
You're just using that because you just watched it.
Well, I don't know. But as far as the Burlington tunnels are concerned, there's the bed and breakfast that's on the Hillcrest. Many people have come and checked out Hillcrest. I mean, we've had paranormal people check that out. They say there's something dark, some kind of, I don't want to call it evil, but there's something there. Something there doesn't want you to check it out. Something there does not want
some sort of entity or
something.
something.
Yeah, something. And it's an energy. That's what I was thinking of. There's an energy there. And so it's like a wagon wheel spoke. So radiating out from that point, these tunnels go out. So, I mean, there was an underground bowling alley at one time, which was common at the time. Remember the underground bowling alley?
I bowled a 216 there.
I mean,
Greg's like,
isn't it weird? If you watch this, I don't know where you're watching it, but we are in Wisconsin. Wisconsin is a hotbed of paranormal nuttery.
It is.
The Beast of Bray Road, if you ever heard that?
Yes.
The tunnels that you're talking about.
Kemper Center.
Which one?
Kemper Center.
Also, there is allegedly a lake between Milwaukee and Madison, Wisconsin, that there are 2 pyramids at the bottom.
Yes.
You remember that?
Yes. Lake Mills. Is it in the Lake Mills?
I couldn't tell you.
Why here?
I don't know. There are also some burial mounds I've heard that are Indian burial mounds, but they're animals: zebra, tiger,
snake.
But zebra and tiger are not here. They're not indigenous to this part of the country. So how did they even get it? And you can only see it.
I know. I've heard of those.
Yes, and they also build apartment complexes over the Indian.
That's in that book, Weird Wisconsin.
Right, but they build the apartment complex over the Indian burial ground, and they're all haunted, and they have to rip them down. I don't know why.
Just like poltergeist.
Just like poltergeist.
They moved the headstones, but they didn't move the graves.
And we were talking off. One of the reasons we wanted to have you on is talking about the Clinton Foundation and the conspiracy that goes on with that. So, well, before we all get vaporized, and Perk, because everybody talks about that. That's just a monster of chicanery, tomfoolery, skullduggery, and sin.
And Dopey was just like, stop. Save it for the air.
Save it for the air because it's fascinating stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Clinton Foundation is it's a money laundering funnel for whatever deviant things they want to do.
Which is a lot, by the way.
Which is a lot. I'm trying to think of how much I can really put into this. Because there's a lot.
If your computer just suddenly go dark.
I apologize ahead of time.
Smoke starts coming out of it.
Slowly fades to black.
It's a model that I'm pretty sure they took from another group that
the Illuminati.
No, close. Close.
The Shriners.
Now you're making my mind.
The Kiwanis.
No.
The Moose Club.
Moose Club.
Skull and Bones would be my guess.
Pretty close. They're all pretty much into. It's another level of the Illuminati. Okay.
Illuminati.
It for right now it is completely.
I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. You made me lose my mind. If I could grab my phone, I have it written down. But anyway, it's basically just a money laundering tool, and they use the charity as a cover to do all these illegal things that they're doing. It's a pay to play. There's so much. If you just look at follow the money and you look at who has donated, the foreign element alone that has donated to the Clinton Foundation. And I'm not talking about people that want to help other people. I'm talking the other rulers of the world, other powerful people that are donating into this. And they do it for favors. It is not out of the goodwill of their heart that they're donating. This is because when Hillary Clinton was Secretary of State, she made certain favors for those who would donate. Oh, her husband made $900,000 speaking a speaking fee, $900,000 speaking fee. What does that man really know that is worth $900,000?
That's my fee, but it's 2 shows.
How to get a stain out of a
So
dress.
perfect.
Apparently not, because the stain never got removed from the dress.
Where to put your cigars when you don't have a cigar box.
But I mean, the layman person is not that stupid. You cannot possibly believe that the things that the money that is being filtered in there is for a good cause, because they haven't taken that money and given it to good causes.
Well, that's Slick Willie for you.
The biggest one, which is finally come out, because the Haitians have been picketing the Clinton Foundation for years.
Yeah.
Yes, they have.
For what reason?
When Haiti got hit by the hurricane, Bill Clinton personally went on national television and said, if you don't know where to send your money to help the Haitians, please send it to me. Send it to the Clinton Foundation.
Sure.
I will make sure that they receive everything that, okay, now here's the kicker. The Haitians never received a penny from the Clinton Foundation. None of it.
My grandmother used to say, I've heard ducks like them fart underwater before.
What happened is the other side of the island that didn't have any damage whatsoever, one of their cronies ended up getting money to build a factory.
You know, you hate to see that your idols and your heroes are corrupt and rotten to the core.
Well,
But
but facts are facts.
I'm not arguing with you.
It's there. And if you drive by the building and you see a bunch of Haitians outside picketing the Clinton Foundation, you kind of go, what is that all about?
How much would it really take to help the Haitians out? No offense.
No offense.
They're poor people.
Yes.
A couple of $1 million would probably rebuild the whole island.
Oh my God, she's probably wiped her ass with more money than that. I'm just saying.
When you get down to the nickels and dimes, it's really big.
It's disgusting. It's disgusting that people gave their hard-earned money and entrusted it where they thought it was going to help, and it didn't.
Hashtag Team Billary.
But that's just one of the many things. I mean, you follow the money going in the Clinton Foundation or leading the Clinton Foundation. It's unbelievable.
And they taught me that through the whole show too.
Yeah.
Follow
the money.
That's the main.
You know that one of the guys who disagreed with the Warren Commission was a senator from Alaska.
Yes.
And when he was flying out of D.C. after the commission closed, guess who drove him to the airport? Of which his plane was never to be found ever again.
That's right.
He disappeared off the face of the
That's
planet. Who drove him to the airport? Young Slick Willie himself, Bill Clinton.
Yes, he did.
So, and it's in Palestine too.
Yes.
That's a shame.
Yes.
On a one-car accidents, those kind of things. Yeah. I think, you want to believe in your government, but again, it's power.
Well, and it's beyond that. It's the craziness is when you look into. You brought up the Warren Commission.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Dan Rather made his big break lying to the American people over the Ziegler film.
Oh, Ziegler film.
The Ziegler film, thank you. Yeah.
I read the book.
I saw the clip notes.
Yeah. So when you realize that 10 seconds of that film is missing, that they show you. Okay. Right. And he tells the American people, this is what you see happening. Well, I'm an avid shooter. I don't know if anybody knows anything about ballistics, shooting, anything else. Whether it's targets, duck, I don't care if it's a watermelon, a pumpkin, whatever. When you shoot a weapon, the ballistics for when the bullet hits whatever you're shooting at. There's a small hole that enters, there's a large hole that exits. How is it possible that Kennedy could get shot in the back of the head and not lose his entire face? We didn't see that in the film. But what you saw was his brains going on, in part of his skull going on the back of the car. So that just means that the shooter was in the front. And for how many years they've lied, the magic bullet bullshit. No, there were
ricocheting everywhere.
there were
Well,
actually
now-
6 shooters there that day.
I'm gonna put a stick in the mud in my own favorite conspiracy theory. Now, ballistics on the rifle that was used, the Italian-made Mannlicher Carcano, the bullets that thing used were at the time some of the heaviest bullets ever used.
That's right.
So it's possible that one bullet could have done all that ridiculous maneuvers and going through people and shredding all kind of stuff. But if it did that, it would have left a bigger mess. These were clean holes through and through.
Yep.
If a bullet's going to ricochet and bounce around like that, it would have been a bigger bloody mess. So it's plausible that the bullet could have done that. But use your eyes. It doesn't look like it.
No.
That's the problem. Plus, they only had to come up with that because there were 3 shots fired. One shot missed. Missed everything completely and ricocheted off a curb and hit some guy and hit the guy in the face.
Yep.
Yeah. Teague was the feller's name. Anyway.
So what, in a nutshell, who do you think killed Kennedy?
I believe Onassis was behind it.
Wow.
It's all Greek to me.
I hadn't heard that before.
For once.
Because he had a hot for Jackie?
No, but if you follow the history of what was going on in the world at the time, well, Kennedy didn't want to even be there. He was betrayed by somebody in his own party that was behind the Bay of Pigs. He didn't want to be there. Onassis is the one that got him elected. He made a deal with his father.
Wasn't the mafia?
Well, he is mafia. Onassis, in 1932, Aristotle Onassis was known as the biggest. I'm trying to think.
Don Corleone.
Well, he was the largest drug and gun dealer in the world in 1932.
Wow, I didn't know none of this. I know nothing.
Yeah. He started off selling Turkish tobacco. Turkish tobacco. That's how it started. He basically ran the Golden Triangle, which is over there by Laos.
Oh, yeah, big drug empire that is.
Oh,
yeah,
gee, look at that.
I've even heard of that.
Yeah, okay. So,
Can I be sitting next to you, or is there going to be a grenade
Although
going
all that being said, if there was a Chinese restaurant called the Golden Triangle, I'd be eating there all the time. I mean, it sounds like the name of a good Chinese restaurant.
There's a place in Chicago called the Golden Nugget.
Yeah. Go to McDonald's for those.
But yeah,
Golden shower.
there's
Gotta go to Germany. Gotta go to Germany for those.
Sorry.
no, thank you. I don't think so.
No thanks.
We're a little off track here. Let's go. Come
A
back
little
into
bit.
reality.
We'll lasso it back in here.
Plug your books one more time. They're fascinating.
For my books,
stuff.
okay.
Yeah.
I have 5 published books.
5.
5,
Wow.
yes. The series
Anita's
is called
only
The
got
Stranger in
4.
the Night. Well,
You got
she's
5.
working on the next one.
She's catching up.
Yes,
Okay.
yes. And the great thing about this conspiracy thriller that we're talking about is my friends and I decided that we were going to write outside our comfort zone.
Mm-hmm.
And since Anita writes these wonderful and fully detailed nonfiction books, I said, hey, let's get you to write something you're not used to writing. And since I write, it's usually a romance suspense, more suspense than romance, mystery type books. We decided to do a conspiracy thriller.
Nice.
Yeah.
Excellent idea.
Yeah. So it's fun. We've got a couple other authors, Mary Sutherland as well as Pam Miller. We are all writing something different. So I'm writing on the Gemstone Files, which I started to tell you a little bit about there. I believe Anita is going to be doing the Ark of the Covenant. So she had mentioned that in one of the little episodes there.
I'm going to write a book about hidden underground nuclear base on 8th Lake, Michigan. I'm not making that up.
No, that's, yeah. That's
Mine's going to be about this Slinky. Is it a cosmic conduit of the other planet? Slinky that's
Only if you straighten it. Leads you to the other dimension.
Tam, thanks for being here.
Oh,
We do
you're
appreciate
very welcome.
it. And Carrie will put all the information together.
All the
Okay.
links in
All the
the
links.
description below.
All the
You'll
links.
see them all.
Okay. Before the bomb goes off, we're going to sign off. Thank you for watching.
It's a little closer.
Thank you. That's for Carrie and Greg, and I'm Dobie. This is Tammy. Thanks for listening. The Mothership will be flying soon at a computer.